During the 19th century, and in particular during the Great Famine, one of the means which Irish tenants and the tenants of Dennismahon and Strokestown had of communicating with the landlord and his agent was to pen a petition or a plea for assistance. So they're very often removed from these people. It was their only option to actually gain assistance. The Strokestown archive, of course, abounds with petitions. The most famous one is the Cloonahee petition, which Jim Callery stumbled upon back in the 1980s and referred to his very own townland in August of 1846. But the petitions in the archive reflect the social isolation, the abandonment of people, the dire straits that people actually were faced with. They are the voices of those that succumbed to hunger, they're the voices of those that were forced to emigrate, they're the voices of those that were evicted from the Mahon estate. People petitioned for a number of different things: for food, for shelter, for clothing, for assistance in immigration, to be given positions on the public works schemes and so on. There's a certain standard or tone to many of the petitions, particularly the individual petitions, perhaps suggesting that they were written by one or a number of different hands, perhaps a local school teacher or priest. But then there are other petitions which are chaotic in nature or in composition. Words are spelled phonetically, which might suggest a certain level of education or perhaps no education at all. So very often the plea for assistance is the very last resort for the individual. So you have people like the widow Dignam in 1849 petitioning Thomas Roberts, the underagent, for assistance. She describes herself as childless and homeless, again reflecting that social isolation that many people felt, perhaps as family members died, emigrated or abandoned one another. And the widow Dignam's petition reflects this fractured society that we find at Strokestown in the 1840s.